Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Big thanks of course to our partners on board with us here at Cape Rugby TV. Score Energy Drinks. Score is of course on board with Western Province Rugby and the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. Direct Access, your financial services partner. And of course Thorburn Security Solutions, as well as MChem 24-hour pharmacy. And of course, Yes Electrical down on Voortrekker Road. Folks, we've got a nice full show for you this evening. We, of course, do have the score competition, so make sure that you keep your mobile phones handy. You can win yourself a case of score during the show. You just have to SMS the word score to 33090. So keep your mobile phones handy. We're also going to give you an opportunity to win yourself a set of masks. Remember, the CTC is giving away a set. These are the Cape Rugby masks they made for us as a gift. And you can win yourself a set of 20 masks with your logo on it. So all you need to do there is SMS the word CTC to 33090. Coming up in the show then this evening, we're going to be catching up with Ben Teron, head of referees at Western Province Rugby. As we know, the referees are recruiting at the moment, and the clubs should be nominating individuals from their club structures to go and do the referees course. And you know, of course, that the Western Province Rugby under-21s that went up north this week to go play in the SA under-21 championships, and they played there on Sunday against the Bulls. So we'll catch up with Jerome Parvata, the DHL Western Province Rugby under-21 side's head coach. And at the same time, we'll speak to Jonathan van der Walt, who's assistant coach there now, and we'll speak to one of the players. We managed to get one of the players on the side. Dan Aspling, who plays inside centre for the under-21s, comes from Brackenfell Rugby Football Club. So we'll catch up with Dan and just find out a little bit of fun behind the scenes. And then we'll speak to Morgan Newman. Of course, we all know Morgan Newman. We'll find out his thoughts on building old boy structures and the importance of having a supporters club at your club structures. But on the line with me now, Rito Klongwane. We all know Rito. He's come through the club rugby structures and is now DHL Stormers forwards coach. And Rito's going to tell us a little bit more about their activity and some of the information from moving from club structure into the Stormers. Rito, it's great to have you back on the line. How are things with you?
Hi, JP. Thanks for having me. I always like coming to Cape Rugby TV. So thanks for inviting me again.
Yeah, Rito, so the last time we spoke, well, I'm not sure if it's the last time we spoke because I'm not sure if you came on the show in this year, but it wasn't so long ago that we had to put the title underneath your name there, Primrose head coach or something like that. Now we've got DHL Stormers forwards coach. How are things going there with you at the Stormers? You seem to be loving it.
Yeah, no, JP, I'm really loving it. You know, if there's any coach out there watching, you know, it's all I can say is dreams do come true. If you work hard, your opportunities will eventually come. I am really enjoying coaching at the Stormers, learning a lot and obviously teaching a lot. It's a very good environment, and I'm happy to have progressed to this far so at the moment.
Talking about progressing, I mean, Rito, you're through and through Western Province Rugby. I mean, you played for the under-21s, you played for Western Province. You're now in the Stormers mix. Do you feel that there's like a link between everything? Not to mention, of course, the fact that you were, a club rugby coach at so many levels.
Yeah, absolutely, JP. I understand. I mean, I would like to believe I understand Western Province really well, the whole system. As you mentioned, I was a player. Before I became coached, I probably coached in all the leagues. You know, I've coached in the zones, I've coached Super League C, B, and A, so I really think that, that experience has sort of brought me here. And for anyone out there, if you work hard enough and you're willing to help other people and coach as much as you can, the opportunity does eventually come when you're ready.
Do you think that coaching at club level helps you coach at Super Rugby level?
Oh, absolutely. Club is tough, JP. You will know. Club is tough. I get to the Stormers. My plan that I plan at home stays the same because all the players arrive at club level. Some players are working. Some guys don't pitch up to training. So you learn to adapt. You learn to sort of be versatile in your approach, and it's prepared me very well for the level that I'm in now.
And now, of course, the last 6 months, I mean, you both, I mean, yourself and guys like Labib, 2020, we came into the beginning of the season, all ready to go. Few games, a few warm-up matches, that type of thing. But it really took the wind out of everybody's sails.
Yeah, it did, JP. It was a bit tough to deal with, considering it was our first season as Super Rugby coaches. But there were other opportunities. The adaptation skills we learned from club rugby we used to sort of survive during lockdown. It gave us a little bit more time to learn more, read more, research, do a little bit more research, reach out to other professional coaches, and just sort of improve our craft.
Yeah, you guys did quite a lot of online work with SA Rugby, and also making sure the team was staying intact.
That's correct. So we had to adapt and make other plans to keep the players stimulated and sort of help them look forward to getting on the field again.
So when we were speaking to Labib, he was telling us that during the lockdown period, he was making little videos and asking the guys to do their hand skills with golf balls and tennis balls. He was coming up with also creative ways to keep the players active, to keep them busy and somehow keep their hand-eye coordination in place. Did you have anything on your side as a forwards coach? It must be a little bit more difficult as a forwards coach to get the guys to train at home.
Yeah, no, look, for me, my role was totally different to Labib, his role made it easier for him to send those kind of clips and sort of be more interactive with the players. What I did mostly, JP, was send reading materials because I felt we have to stimulate their mind as well. So I sent a lot of clips, articles, and YouTube videos, anything that could help develop the players mentally.
That's, of course, quite unique. Rita, now, of course, you've gone into your first game. You guys played the Marvel game there just about 10 days ago or so. Bit of traveling, some different challenges now, playing in an empty stadium. How was that?
Yeah, I mean, when we walked onto Loftus, there was no one in the stand. The silence was deafening. It was a bit challenging, different, but I think we adapted really well. The airport was also totally different to what we used to. There's a lot of extra forms that you have to fill in. You sanitize everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just like anything. We'll get used to it. We'll adapt, and we'll get better at every single aspect that we having to approach.
You guys got the Lions on the 17th of October. How's the team feeling? How are you guys feeling about that?
No, we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be a tough game, but fortunately for us, we'll be at Newlands. It's always nice to start at home.
All right, Rita. Well, we've got to ask you though, from a club rugby perspective, are there any words of advice for the club rugby guys out there? Everybody's watching at the moment, of course. Everybody from the club rugby circles are very proud of the fact that you're at the coaching space there. But what would you be passing on to club rugby players right now?
Look, JP, for me is that we're very lucky. We live in an era where the internet is there. Information is readily available. So players must also take charge and do their own research online, learn more as much as they can, and reach out to coaches. Anyone is sort of welcome to hit me up and ask me questions and ask for any help, because that's what I do to other international coaches. I write emails. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of research just to get better. The internet allows you to learn as much as you can any time of the day. So that would be my best advice to anyone involved in club. Don't limit yourself and only learn from people that you see. Reach out to anyone, whether it's an international coach or someone in Namibia or up north at the Bulls or the Sharks. The internet allows you to reach out to anyone and learn from them.
And of course, Rita, you would advise, I mean, you've mentioned this to me before, is the importance of staying positive, even when times are difficult.
100%. My journey hasn't been easy, JP. Had some strong challenges as a player and as a coach. But, if you persevere, your opportunity will come, as long as you keep working hard and believing in what you want to achieve.
And Rita, just on a final note, the spirit in the team, players and forwards, how's the vibe in the squad? You guys are back in Cape Town, and of course, Newlands is your home.
Yeah, JP, we've had the longest preseason or off-season, if I may call it. So everyone's ready to go. There's no excuses, you know. There's no one with who's reluctant to start playing. Everyone just wants to play. It's been too long. We just want to be able to have a situation where we're playing every single Saturday. So the boys are really positive and hungry to get going.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that, Rito. Obviously, we'll hope to catch up with you again soon. It's great chatting with you. It's fairly easy to do, obviously, via the online platform like this. Yes. And we know that you guys got a lot of practices at the moment, getting ready for the rest of the Super Rugby games. And we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you very much, JP. Really appreciate it. All the best. Huh?
Here we go, folks. DHL Stormers forwards coach, no stranger to club rugby, Rito Hlungwane. Folks, fantastic to be chatting with him, and of course we'll be following their progress and trying to keep in touch with them on a regular basis, and certainly find out how Rito is doing. But yeah, we're looking forward to the matches, folks. We'll take a break, and when we come back from the break, we'll take a look at what's happening at the under-21s, and we'll also be speaking to Ben Turon, head of referees for Western Province Rugby. Don't go away. Welcome back, folks. We carry on talking about Western Province Club Rugby, and as we know, of course, a lot of the clubs are busy with referees courses. They're busy with coaching courses, and just when you thought that Club Rugby was quieting down, well, think again. Things are, in fact, rather busy behind the scenes. And to tell me a little bit more about some of the activities that's happening at Western Province Rugby, specifically in the referees component, because as we know, a lot of folks can be doing referee courses at the moment. I've got Ben Turon on the line with me now. Ben is, of course, head of referees at Western Province Rugby. Ben, fantastic to have you on the line. How are things with you?
Thanks a lot for the opportunity, JP. Nothing to complain. Health-wise, I'm strong. Looking forward for 2020, the rest of 2020, 2021. Eager to start going with more courses, more getting people involved with refereeing. Because that's what the game's about. We need referees to serve our communities and our clubs.
The last 6 months, obviously, we've had no games, but this has been the perfect opportunity for you guys to concentrate on upskilling the referees, and you've been quite busy with that.
Yeah, JP, thanks through your KTV, the channel, advertising and make it possible for us. We really want to approach people again. This is the best time to get involved. Best time to do your online courses, best time to put back into a game that we all love, because eventually, at all matches, all games, all levels, we need referees.
Yeah, so Ben, we've spoken about this in the past. It's reasonably easy to do. I mean, everything is online now.
Well, the pre courses from World Rugby, the laws of the game, get into rugby ready, and getting the match officiating. It's so easy courses, you know. It's online. You can't fail it. You just do it. Get your and you know it's giving you a little bit of a background of the laws. When you walk into these courses for the day, at least you're a little bit more prepared and much easier to attend and to do.
So for folks that want to do the referees courses, they must go to the World Rugby site, correct?
Yeah, they need to go visit World Rugby. It's www.worldragby.org. They go into the programs, into courses. Match officiating, they do introduction to match officiating, rugby ready, and also the game. And then from that, they send it on to us, and we will present the courses for them for free, as long as we get referees into the system.
That's, of course, the idea, is that each club provides a few candidates to join the referee society.
So that's true. You know, sorry to say, but about 35 clubs have enrolled referees as far, or members. So we're still waiting for another 65 clubs out there to send us a name. And that's the ideal scenario. If each club can, it's so easy. Each club, one member, we saw it. All clubs will have referees for the lowest league team. And that's eventually what you want. You don't want to go on a Saturday that you're a referee short, only one AR assisting the first team referee. That's just problems that's going to arise.
So that's, of course, the idea, is get as many referees enrolled now, get everybody certified, and get them ready for 2021. But Ben, you've also, of course, we are seeing some action now. The Super Rugby is playing, they're calling this Unlocked, and we're going into the Currie Cup. How has that been an impact for the referees?
Well, the referees on that level, they had the online courses, meetings. They had to do online work. Also, like the players have to forward fitness levels and those kind of things. So they are well prepared. I don't think perhaps match fit already, but it's not. If I watch the last 2 weeks, no big things. Yaku past Saturday. And the previous week at Loftus, I think the Maris and those guys and Rasta, they all did well. Yeah. So I don't think, it's like riding a bicycle, just get onto it and do it again and sharpen the pencil and off you go. So this coming weekend, I see Amy is also racing on the 21 from outside. Maris is racing, Rasta is racing, Sven Gerija is winning now on TMO. So we're looking forward. The guys are ready to move.
Is there? Would you say it's more difficult to referee an under-21 side than a Stormers side, or a Super Rugby side?
Well, I always believe the fitness level have to be higher wherever you go. Doesn't matter. Yeah, but I think the laws of the game is the same. It's management perhaps a little bit different. I think perhaps Super Rugby, some players are more challenging. But on the 21 rugby, the guys they know the laws of the game, so you're not just going to get away with it. And everything's about management. For me, it's people skills, dealing with that pressure, and be part of the game, because eventually you're supposed to be the player 31 in the field and manage the game. For me, I always said it's not about the refereeing anymore, it's about management.
And then, Ben, of course, you guys have also been busy with an outreach project. We saw your cycling event now 2 weeks ago, where some of your referees were raising funds for your members. But you also had a big event now at City Park.
Yeah, thanks towards the Kulisi Foundation, Sia and his wife. They assist 15 of our referees who are also from our areas. They lost their jobs, don't have any income. And to be honest, what we're advertising through the years is like referees do get income through refereeing. If you referee Wednesday afternoon a primary school matches, 1 or 2, Saturday morning a school's game, Saturday afternoon, eventually you can earn $2,500 Rand a month. All of a sudden they without that income. So we want to thank those people, and being connected with specifically the Chester Williams Foundation, Maria and her team. What an honor, just the name, the brand, to be part of it.
Yeah, so that's quite positive. You're partnering with the Sia Kulisi Foundation. You're partnering with the Chester Williams Foundation, and one of the things that you are indicating is that if you're a referee, there's an income generation solution there. So there is some contribution there beyond just playing, just blowing the whistle.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand the refereeing. It's for us, we're a big family, and if one is suffering, everybody is suffering. Yeah. So we would like to make a difference towards everybody. And when you join the referee society, we will always come in and see where we can assist, where possible. Fitness level, food level, moral support, whatever. We are one big family.
And you've got another event coming up in the next few weeks again, where there's another fundraising initiative.
Yeah, we one of our referees, C.B. Peterson, is in charge, project manager of this. We started with this brilliant idea. He's actually from the Northern Cape Greek Coast area. So this coming weekend, we are off to Nieuwoudtville and California, cycling between the towns. What happened in the past, this coming Saturday, Nieuwoudtville had the last match day for the season, and our referees had exchange with Greek Coast. So they went there refereeing matches and whatever. Unfortunately, cannot happen. So they decided that we're going to do the outreach to them, take some food parcels, cycle between Nieuwoudtville and California, and make a small difference in people's lives.
Ben, that's fantastic stuff. I think we'll leave it at that, and of course we'll encourage the clubs out there to go and sign up and make sure that they join the Referee Society, and we'll be catching up with you again soon to find out about that progress.
Thanks a lot, JP. Much appreciated. And as I said, just appealing to the clubs again, we need referees. We know this game needs good referees. If we get a drop in numbers, you get a drop of standards. So the more numbers, the better quality you will have.
Dankie, Ben. Thanks very much, Ben Teron, head of referees at Western Province Rugby. Right, folks, remember you must sign up, get your clubs involved, and become a referee. Right, if you want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, right? You want to win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, SMS the word SCORE now to 33090. Just SMS the word SCORE to 33090. You put yourself in the mix to win a case. 33090. Grab your mobile phones. It's very easy to do. Congratulations then to last week's winner, Terence Crook. Terence walks away with a case of Score energy drinks. Terence, somebody from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you, and you can collect your case of Score energy drinks. I never know how to hold this can because you want to be able to drink it at the same time. Right, folks, Terence Crook, then congratulations. You are this week's winner. Folks, when we come back from the break, as you know, the under-21s went up north this weekend to go and play in the South African under-21 championships. We managed to speak to Jerome Parvard. He comes back after the break. All right, folks, and joining me on the line now, Jerome Parvard, Western Province Rugby Under-21 coach. Jerome, so you guys left for Joburg. We spoke last week. You had the Under-21s ready. You went up to Joburg on Saturday, had your first game, but we believe you're back in Cape Town.
Yeah, JP, we were going to stay in Joburg as we spoke last week, but SA Rugby changed the rules again, so we're happy to be back because they changed it because we would have a 4-day turnaround. So we have to stay there because of all the flights. But now they changed it to a 7-8 day turnaround. So yeah, we're just glad to be back again in Cape Town. Yeah. Otherwise we would have stayed there.
But that must be much better for you, Jerome. I mean, you would have had a bye. Your first game would have been a bye, which basically means you would have been sitting around in Joburg for more than a week before your next game.
Yeah, exactly, JP, and it's so much better here, having all the equipment here, and we can do our video sessions here at the High Performance Center. So it's so much better, and it's also better for the guys, for the students, so they can go on basically as normal. Yeah. So yeah, everything is actually much better this way.
And we're hoping to still catch up with one of the players, and we're going to still speak to Jonathan van der Walt as well. But how was the whole experience? I mean, we've spoken to Dobbo about their previous trip, and we spoke to Rito Klongwane, in fact, in the show. We're speaking to him tonight. But tell us a little bit about the experience, the getting on the aeroplane, the traveling, getting in their hotels. All these things are so new for you.
Yeah, it is, JP, and I must say, it's the airports are not that busy, but it actually takes a while with all the protocols. Because before you go in, and we actually have to be there 3 hours before the time. Before you check in, you must be there. Then they do the screening. Then you give in your forms. Then you go to the next table. So yeah, it's actually a lot of
red tape
to go through all that stuff, but I suppose it's necessary, and so then also with flying, you're not allowed to eat on the plane, and all sorts of stuff, and you have to sit with your mask on in the plane.
Yeah.
And also, if you arrive in Joburg, it's the same sort of protocols.
Yeah.
So you have to go through all that PT.
And how did the players cope with all that, or manage all that, or is it just a question of young guys, they're traveling together, they're having fun and playing rugby?
No, we actually Chippy Solomons, because they have traveled before. So Chippy actually spoke to the players on Friday and tell them what they can expect. So yeah, we were ready for whatever we had to do, because of we prepped the players. Yeah.
And then, of course, the field, Loftus. As I said, we spoke to Dobbo, and we are speaking to Rito. But the field, playing in an empty stadium like that, how did the guys adapt to that?
Strangely, JP, it's still rugby. You can see the guys are still competitive, and the guys still play. It's just that you can actually hear how the guys speak, and you can actually hear the whistle, where in normal games you don't hear anything on the sideline. So yeah, but the guys were still playing and still competitive and playing like normal. It's just there's no noise. It's but yeah, it was still like a normal game.
Just tell us about your next games coming up now. When do you guys go back up now? Do you in fact go back to Joburg now?
Yeah, we go back to Joburg. We playing on Monday, so we're flying on Sunday. Sunday morning we'll fly, spend the day in Joburg, have our captain training there the afternoon, and then play Monday at 12 o'clock, and then just after the game, fly back immediately, because also with us, we're not even allowed to be in the stadium when the other teams arrive. So we must leave the stadiums before, so we can't even watch the other games, but if we have time. So we have to leave immediately.
There, you guys scored a couple of nice. Didn't go your way on Saturday against the Bulls, under 21 side, but you managed to score a couple of nice tries.
Yeah, we did, JP. Actually, Angelo scored a hat-trick. He scored 3 tries. So yeah, but it was actually the second half we played better. I think the guys just because of we arrived later on Saturday. Everything was a bit of a rush, and then up early Sunday morning. I think that's why we actually got better in the second half. But all credit to the Bulls. They were quite well on the day.
So what are the positives that you draw out of the game here in terms of the game itself? I know we're going to try and catch up with Jonathan van der Walt and find out from him as well. He was, of course, up there with you. But the positive that you draw out of the game?
JP, yeah, it's the first one. The positive for us as a coaching team is the guys never gave up. We actually ended stronger than the Bulls and look fitter than the Bulls. So that's a big plus for us, like what we did during the lockdown, all the running and stuff. So that helped us. So that's a plus. So we know the guys are fit. So technically, we know what to work on now. So yeah, we had a good day yesterday, and also today we're gonna have a sort of also another tough session. So we'll be better prepared for the Sharks game.
All right, Jerome, and from a coaching perspective, a management perspective, how did all that go? Just tell us a little bit about your management team. We know you've got quite a few guys that are busy helping out now.
Yeah, look, it's still myself and Nazim Adams, and then we have John Ginokwe, we have Jono van der Walt, and we have Ismail Dolly. As part of the management, part of the coaching structure. I mean, we all know each other for quite a long time, and I mean, the one thing about Western Province is that we always try to empower not only the players but also the coaches. So that's why we've got club coaches in here, sort of help us with the coaching. And just to experience this, what it is now really to be involved with the professional setup and it, it's the same pathway as players for the coaches. So I'm happy to have Jono and East here. I mean, they've done well with their clubs.
Yeah. And you took up, I mean, you've got more than 10 club rugby guys in the under 21 side. That's quite unique. That's a high level of club rugby players coming through the ranks.
Yeah, exactly, JP. We always say, like, if the senior guys take the guys, and fortunately for us, we know every single player in the union, and yeah, so it was easy for us to get the guys involved, and some of them were with the Super Sport Challenge also, a few of that guys. So we were blessed with that because they've been training with us and play a couple of warm-up games with us. So we're fortunate to have them also, yeah.
And then just on a final note, Jerome, the coaching courses are coming up again soon. So Nazim and yourself will be rolling that out. I know Nazim has made those announcements, and of course, folks should start signing up to do the coaching courses.
Yeah, they must because we're going to start in November. I think it's the first week in November. So they must really sign up now, because also, JP, it's almost like the first come, first serve, because we can't take as many coaches as we want. But we want to we'll do more courses, but so obviously people who are first will obviously be out first.
Yeah, I think you've got 15 at a time, so you're going one course at a time. Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, Jerome, well, it's great to see you guys are back. Great to see that you're all healthy and safe, and we're looking forward to following the progress. And of course, we'll still catch up with Jonathan Avalt and hopefully some of the players as we go.
Yeah, thanks, JP.
Thanks, Jerome. There we go, folks. Jerome Parvati, of course, coming to us remotely from the High Performance Centre, the HPC. They're busy with testing, they're busy with practice and getting ready for the SA Under 21 side. But they're back in Cape Town, so that's great, and we can carry on talking to them via the online medium in this platform. But staying with the Under 21s, we're now going to cross to, after the break at least, we'll cross to Jonathan Avalt and Dan Aspling and to see what it is that they're busy with there, and for them to give us a little bit more feedback on how the first leg of the SA Under 21 champs was. Don't go away. Back in a sec. Welcome back, everybody. Cape Rugby TV. We carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. And as we know, the Under 21s went away. Currently, management structures there joining Jerome Parvar, of course, Jongi Nokwe, Jonathan Avalt, Ishmael Dolly. And so it's great to see the club guys coming through the ranks and joining me on the line now for a bit of a catch-up. Since we haven't spoken to him for a while, of course, that was in the False Bay side. Been traveling with the team. First match away now. Jonathan Avalt. Jono, nice to have you back in Cape Town.
How's it, JP? Thanks for having me again.
Jono, different cap for you now. It's not a False Bay cap now. It's a Western Province Rugby Under 21 side. How are you finding the move? We know you've been behind the scenes there for a while now, but how are you finding the move from competing at a club level and going up to Loftus and competing in a Under 21 side?
Thoroughly enjoying it. It's very different from working normal hours to then coaching club guys in the evening. And luckily, I've got some time during the day and can really knuckle down and get to some good work with a bunch of guys that we have here.
You were telling me a few seconds ago that there's lots of protocols involved, quite a lot of testing to make sure that you guys are safe and compliant.
Yes, so we the protocols are very tight. Every single week we have COVID tests in the morning. So every single player kind of goes for a test. In every single team meeting we have, there's social distancing. We all wear masks. And I think the only time the players aren't wearing masks is when they're on the field, but then all the coaching and management staff basically all wearing masks. So everyone is kind of keeping up with the protocols, and that's why kind of to date everyone has been safe so far.
Jono, of course, everybody knows you. They know you on the show. They know your experience. I don't need to say it, but maybe for the odd viewer that's watching now, head coach of False Bay, you know all of the club rugby guys intimately. Has that helped you at all here with the coaching side, with coaching the players? I mean, some of these players that you're seeing in your squad now, you've played against them.
Yes, look, obviously some of these players they're basically a lot younger. Some of them are 18, 19, 20 years old. So some of them I would have seen. Definitely, obviously, having coached schoolboy rugby, especially over the last 3 to 4 seasons. So some of them have come up through the ranks and we've seen them. And it's just nice that we can be able to work with them now and kind of fine-tune some of their smaller skills.
So yourself and Ishmael, Dolly and Jongi have been working behind these scenes there quite hard. Just tell us your strong points. What would you say would be the parts that you are happy with coming from Sunday's game against the Bulls?
Against the Bulls will probably just be maybe our last 20 minutes and the fact that we decided that we wanted to play some rugby and spread the ball wide, because that is a team from Western Province's strengths, and that is shifting the ball and playing some running rugby. So it took us a while to get going, but once we hit our straps, it's definitely positive for the week moving forward.
Anything specific you guys are going to be concentrating on, or again, like I said to Jerome, or would that be letting the cat out of the bag?
I don't think we'll be letting the cat out. I think it's more just concentrating on ourselves, making sure that we're doing the basics, our set piece, our scrums, our lineouts, our defense, and just our general communication. And I think we've already worked really hard this week, and we're hoping for a much better performance come Monday against the Sharks.
Yeah. Jono, and from a squad perspective, are we seeing a bit of gears there amongst the players?
Yeah, we started off. I must say the journey has been quite a tough one for the players and for the coaches, because about 15, 16 weeks ago we were still in lockdown and we didn't know whether we were going to play. We could only run, like kind of 1 on a field, 2 on a field. We couldn't introduce a ball. We couldn't do any contact. So every week we've kind of added a certain element. So I'm hoping in the next week or two we obviously don't have time. We're in a competition now, so there is no time for hoping. But we're definitely getting better and better with each passing session.
Yeah. John, okay, well, we're going to leave it at that. And, we'll obviously carry on following you guys and catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, JP, thanks again, man.
There we go, folks. Jonathan Valton staying at the HPC now. We move to some of the players to find out how things are going from a player's perspective. And joining me on the line now, or joining us in the same room at least, of course, having followed the protocols, Dan Aspling is playing inside centre for the Western Province Rugby under 21s. Dan, hoe lyk dinge daar by jou?
Ja, het gaan goed hierso en self.
Wel, aan my kant, maar ons gaan maar aan. Dan, hoe was die trip vir julle toe? Nogal 'n ander experience.
Ja, dit was vir my vir die eerste keer ooit, so dit was redelik lekker geweest. So lekker vibe en kultuur hierso. Self en dan ons moes gewoond geraak het aan die lugdruk. Dit het nogals daar op die einde vir ons begin vang, maar ek dink was overall 'n lekker experience geweest.
So jy kom van Brackenfell Rugby Club af, jy het baie ondervinding daarso waar jy by hulle gespeel het. Dink jy daar's 'n groot gap tussen club rugby en onder 21 rugby?
Ek sal sê met die spoed van die game self, ja, baie groot verskil, maar fisies is min of meer dieselfde. En ek dink is baie meer tegnies. Baie meer tegnies, ja.
Ja. En so hoe het jy gevind om op Loftus te speel?
Dat was baie lekker geweest. Dit is 'n lekker experience geweest. Eerlikwaar. Ek is nie gewoond daaraan nie, maar dit was baie lekker geweest.
Ja. En vertel ons 'n bietjie van die span self. Ons het laasweek met Jason Alexander gepraat. Hy's natuurlik hakker daar by julle. Hoe gaan dit in hoe is die gees binne die span?
Ja, die gees is great. Almal as daar foute is en goed en obviously ons almal weet wat in almal se lewens aangaan, so almal support mekaar, so dis regtig great. Die spangees is ongelooflik.
Wie is die grootste jokers in die span?
Joker sal ek sê is hy weer af. 'n groot joker. En dan Jason kan ook so nou en dan 'n grappie daar gooi wat mense voor lekker lag.
And have you got a bit of a vibe between the club rugby players? Because you've got such a variety. You've got guys from UWC, you've got guys from Brackenfell, you've got guys from False Bay and Marty's. I mean, the guys are from all over the show. Have you got a bit of, do you guys give each other a bit of a hard time?
Ja, hulle het vanoggend juist gepraat oor wie speel vir wie wanneer in die Varsity Cup. So daar's al klaar 'n rivalry wat gebeur. So ja, dis lekker.
Okay, en julle het nou almal julle toetsing getesting gedoen die hele tyd en julle is almal veilig.
Ja, almal is veilig, ja.
Okay, Dan, so waarop gaan jy nou persoonlik as 'n speler konsentreer oor die volgende paar dae? Jy het natuurlik daarso vir Jonathan van der Walt en Jerome Paarwater, Ismail Dolly en Jongi Nokwe, alles almal afrigters. Waarop gaan jy fokus?
My main focus sal wees vir obviously counter attack. So hard terug te werk en net om in die spel te bly die hele tyd en obviously om ruck time om die hele tyd seker te maak ons behou balbesit. Okay. Net om die ruck time mooi en skoon te hou vir die scrum skakel. Ja. Maar die main focus speel.
Voel jy fiks?
Ja, ek voel ek fiks. Ek is verbaas ek het 80 gehou veral daar op Ellis Park en so ja, ek voel actually baie fiks.
Fantasties, Dan, ons weet julle moet terugkom op die veld, so ons los dit daarso en sê maar vir die res van die spelers ons sê hallo.
Dis so baie dankie.
Caught Dan a little bit unawares there, but we managed to nevertheless get him one of the players there just to tell us a little bit of fun behind the scenes and what it is that they're up to. But of course, we're still crossing online and things are a little bit tricky. All right, folks, as we said to you last week, you can put yourself in the mix to win a set of masks, 20 masks, courtesy of CTC Sports. Now, these are the Cape Rugby TV masks. They gave us a small gift of 20 masks, courtesy of, from CTC. Now, you can win for yourself the same. With your logo on it. So all you need to do is SMS the word CTC to 33090, right? And you send your logo in. Of course, you need to be in the Cape Town. Well, at least you have to collect. You have to collect the masks from CTC Sports. Those are one of the terms. But there we go. That's what the Cape Rugby TV mask would look like. And if you want to win yourself a similar set of masks like this, then all you need to do is SMS the word CTC to 33090. 33090. Right, folks, when we come back from the break, we'll catch up with Morgan Newman. We're having a chat with Morgs a little bit about the supporters club structures at club level and, of course, the importance of having a past players structure. Back in a sec, don't go away. Back, everybody. We carry on talking about Western Province Club Rugby and what's happening with Club Rugby in Western Province. And of course, joining me on the line now, no stranger to Cape Rugby TV, and it's conversation time, Morgan Newman. Morgs, nice to have you back on the line. How are things there with you?
How's it, Jeff? Yeah, good to be back. Thanks, man. It's been a while, eh? Hopefully we can get into studios soon, man. We sit 1.5 meters away from each other anyway, don't we? Can't I get back into studio with you sometimes?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't think we're quite there yet. We probably could, but things are a little bit tricky. Morgs, of course, we spoke to Phil Cronje last week about Hamilton's, and one of the things we touched base on was old boys rugby structures at Western Province. And we thought we would have a conversation, you a little bit about old boys. You've been involved with rugby at many levels, from schoolboy rugby to the under-21 side, to the junior sides, Stormers, club rugby, Western Province. How important is it for any club structure to have an old boys structure?
Look, James, it's funny. I belong to the old boys of Marty's and I belong to the old boys of Hamilton's. So I'm not quite sure where my allegiances do lie, but of utmost importance. I mean, if I, because I'm so heavily involved with Hamilton still, I'm probably a bit more involved or more inclined to be involved with the Marty's Old Boys. And to just see the amount of work that these guys do, from getting together to making sure that, the players, the club still runs, especially now when there's no rugby, then the Old Boys is kind of the heart and soul of the club, Yes, when rugby will start again, things will change, but it's just so important. I mean, it keeps guys together. I still see guys coming together and having chats, and also just a network, that network is so important. I mean, the Marty's network especially, these guys are doing business together. They, you need something. The first point of call is the Old Boys group, the Old Boys email list, just to find out, I need a plumber. Is there somebody that does plumbing? I need a painter. Is there somebody that does painting? And the list goes on. The business goes from the right all the way from the bottom all the way to the top. So fantastic initiative that was started obviously many moons ago, and we've sort of lost that over a period of time. But lockdown has now taught us to bring it back, and I'm so happy to see it alive and well, and us really making use of it. So fantastic. And if to other clubs out there, Old Boys, anyone that's ever been involved with the club, that should be our first point of call. We are a community, we are a we're a family, we're a community, and we should be digging deeper into that. We don't make enough use of it. And that's what I've learned over the last while is, if I look for something, that should technically be my first point of call, not Facebook or Google or so forth,
So one of the things that is, of course, happening at Western Province at the moment is the media marketing and sponsorship workshops that the clubs are busy with, where they're allocating a team to the specifically dedicated to media marketing and sponsorships and building the databases and building the social media platforms at a club. And this is something that we've been working on for a long time, but we're now seeing a much more focused approach. And one of the components that the guys have been talking about is the value that you need to add to the club structure, to the members. I mean, in your opinion, what are the kind of things that Old Boys or past players actually want to see?
Well, that's the reality, Jeff. We need to become self-sufficient as clubs. And I think too easily in the past, we've looked for handouts, if you want to call it that. We've just looked for someone to sponsor the club with no real return on their investment, with no real return other than just a love for the club. So here's a bit of money. Now we're realizing that we can actually give these sponsors value. And through Old Boys, through social media, through marketing, through the database which the club should have, every fan, every individual that walks through those gates should be accounted for, because in some way, shape, or form, they add value, and so I think as a sponsor of the club, to come back to the original, as a sponsor of the club, there is definitely a return on investment. And with times that have been so tough, COVID has taught us that everything is not all sunshine and roses, and being able to tap into a database of a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand, whatever it may be, is valuable, because there are resources out there we can use.
Is it important to sort of celebrate the players more than beyond the Old Boys and just activities and gatherings, but is it remembering their activities, their matches, their celebrations?
Yeah, 100%, Jeff. I mean, I'm a big advocate for letting players know of the players that have worn the jersey before them. Because when you pull that jersey over your head, you're representing every single one of those individuals. And when you go onto the rugby field knowing that that's the responsibility that you carry, then the way you carry yourself on the rugby field, it takes a little bit of a different shape and form. I mean, when I looked at Marty's, for example, the Jean de Villiers and the Joan de Jongs that all wore that jersey, the same jersey that I wore, it gave me a sense of responsibility. And I think when clubs dig deep into who wore those jerseys before it, then when a first team runs onto the field, they run onto the field with a sense of responsibility, a sense of ownership in representing that club to the best of their ability. And sometimes we lose that. So celebrating past players is one way of definitely, letting players know, putting up their jerseys, around the clubhouse. We don't see nothing. We don't see old players' club jerseys hanging on the walls around the clubs. So you don't quite know. And sometimes when you dig deep, there's some serious names that start to, come to the fore.
What about the match day activities? When you actually now, you've managed to engage with your fans and your members. I mean, rugby's all about gees, it's all about passion, and it's not just the 80 minutes. People are coming for the pre-match activity, the during the match activity, the post-match activity. How important is all that?
Yeah, Jeff, clubs now more than ever need to get people there for more than the 80 minutes of rugby that happens on the field. So pre-match entertainment, halftime entertainment, post-match entertainment. I hate to break it, I hate to admit to it, but the Americans do it so right. I mentioned this before on the show, I think, but I went to Madison Square Garden and you watch a basketball game, and a basketball game is however many minutes long, but you're there for 2 or 3 hours because of entertainment before, and there they celebrate their past heroes. So we can take a leaf out of their hats and definitely, have entertainment on the field for the kids, play touch rugby on the field, and get somebody to come and sing, a little local hero from the town or the community to come and sing on the field and add a bit of entertainment, do whatever it is. Have some entertainment before the match, and then post-match, the players, entertain the players. These guys have put in a hard 80 minutes. Let them sit back and watch maybe other talented individuals from around the community, display their skills, because you have people walking through your gate. We might as well entertain them for as long as possible and make it a festival, make it a day, make every single rugby match we play an occasion, because the reality is also, you don't know when the opportunity is going to come again, and lockdown has taught us that.
All right, Morgs, we'll leave it at that. Some great words of advice there, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, Dave, always good to be on your show, man. Thanks for having me. Chat again soon. Cheers, guys.
There we go, folks. Morgan Newman, of course, former Western Province rugby player, Stormers player, Marty's player, Hamilton's player, and I'm pretty sure that if we're going to get some sage advice, good input on entertaining rugby, then he's the guy to speak to. So nice to hear there from Morgs. Folks, that's a wrap from us here this evening. We will see you again next week, same time, same place. Remember, please practice all the health and safety protocols, follow all the guidelines, maintain the social distancing, and we'll see you again next weekend. Bye-bye.